Next this afternoon, the first of those guests, a very recognisable face on your TV, in the theatre, on the cinema screen, on your box set, well known as, for instance, Lucas in Spooks, Claude in the movie Ocean's 8, as Dwarf Leader Thorin in the Hobbit trilogy. But for me, the one thing I'll certainly remember him for is playing the part of Harry, the man who made an honest woman of Geraldine in The Vicar of Dibley. Richard Armitage, good afternoon. Welcome to BBC Radio
Hello.
Derby.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, there you are. You popped in as the new neighbour, and your eyes met, and the sparks flew. It's one of those scenes that I've only seen about 3 or 4 times, but I can virtually remember everything about it. And of course, you ended up getting married.
Me too. I hope that they'll rerun it this Christmas. I think we need a bit of feel-good TV, don't we?
Have you not got UK Gold, mate? It's on every 6 weeks.
Is it really?
Yeah. So, thank you for being on the programme. You are here because we're in a rare position to be able to get people to go outside and then find themselves a seat and watch you perform, which is great news. It's a bit of normality because you have already filmed this multi-Olivia-nominated play called Uncle Vanya, which had been filmed at the Harold Pinter Theatre and will be out in various cinemas during the next week or so. For you, as somebody who makes their money from performing, how good does it feel to be able to get some work out there?
I mean, it was touch and go. We were shooting in kind of extraordinary circumstances. Obviously, everyone's in this position, but the play was initially due to run until May the 2nd, but we came off at the point of the lockdown. So the chances of actually getting this finished or even on film at all was slim. But so it was a huge achievement to be able to do that. And thanks to Sonia Friedman and the team that put it all together, it was really amazing. And actually, what's emerged is something quite unique. It's a hybrid of normal filmed theatre and film itself, because the camera team are able to move around on stage with the actors, so you're going really deep into the inside of the play, but we're still in a theatre. So I think hopefully it will be quite a thrilling and unusual experience for the audience.
Even so, was it weird to be performing something that would be high intensity, because you know that it's not a rehearsal, but there's nobody on the seats in front of you?
Well, exactly. I mean, and we were used to an audience, and one of the things about doing this play in particular is that the audience was so lively, because it's really a kind of dark comedy, and so without that audience interaction, it was a different play. It felt different, but at the same time, it was an echo of what these characters are going through, and it's about people that are trapped in a house for the summer and into the winter, and kind of going out of their minds, really. And then there's sort of a big tragedy at the end when Vanya is about to lose everything that he has. So I feel that there is a kind of weird resonance with what people have been going through in lockdown.
This is a Chekhov play, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got Toby Jones starring alongside you too.
Toby Jones as Uncle Vanya. I mean, we've been waiting for that performance for a long time.
I'll bet. Because Toby's extraordinarily busy at the moment. He seems to be in everything. So I'm presuming getting him tied down to be able to do this was something of an achievement.
It was. I mean, there was a really slim window where all of the actors were available. Unfortunately, we couldn't work with Kieran Hines again, so we have the incredible Roger Allam, who stepped in to take his role of Serebryakov. But it was brilliant. Everyone was really up for it, and the after sitting at home for nearly 4 months, I think people were relieved to be back, albeit for a 4-day film shoot. But it was good to see the gang again. Yeah, for sure.
I spoke to Robert Bathurst about 6 weeks or so into lockdown. He had a production like you that was on in London and had to pack in early because of lockdown. And I asked him this question as well. I wonder what your thoughts were. What was it like when you had to go back to the theatre knowing that the run was over early and go and collect your belongings, not knowing what the next 6-7 months had in store for you?
I did that quite quickly, I think. I sort of wanted to be I needed the short, sharp shock, as it were. So I went in the day after and cleared out the dressing room because I felt that this was going to go on for longer than the end of September, which is what they were promising. But what was more interesting was going back into the theatre to restage it for a film. It was almost as if we'd never been away. I could literally, in the back of my mind, hear that audience gathering on the tannoy in the dressing room, and that was a really not a good feeling, because I felt like we'd really bedded into that building, and we saw all the crew again, and the carpenters and the stage door guys, and it was a positive experience out of something which was quite traumatizing, really.
As an actor, then, when you are sat in your dressing room, can you feel then that hubbub of an audience arriving and getting settled and talking about their expectations for the night ahead and rattling their programs?
Yeah, there's a sort of in the dressing room. There's like a little tannoy that you can switch it off or switch it on, but you can hear the audience gathering, which I use that as a way of building up to the performance, and I love it. It's this kind of, it's almost like a radio being tuned in. Sometimes you can hear conversations happening, and it's fascinating.
Well, it's great that you're part of something that can be shown, that has already happened, and still gets people to find an excuse to go out and have some social life. So tickets are available now, unclevanyacinema.com. There are performances around here, at Quad, at Showcase Deluxe at the Into and the Odeon on Mansfield Road, starring my guest today, Richard Armitage. Thank you for joining me today. And it's released on the 27th, so that's a week yesterday. Is that right, I think?
Yeah, that's correct, 27th.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. I did that all by myself. I'm very proud of myself.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me, Richard. Really appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Steve. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you, and you. Richard Armitage there, BBC Radio Derby.